Hey, before we start, just imagine it's 6 in the morning. You're half asleep. Someone knocks on your door, not rings the bell, knocks 3 times. And when you open it, a man you have never seen before is standing on your porch holding an envelope in both hands like it's made of glass. He says, "I've been holding this for 11 years. Your father told me to give it to you when you had children." This is the story of Nathan Cole, because that is exactly what happened to him. Begin. It was a Tuesday in February 2024, the kind of cold that gets into your bones before you even open your eyes. Nathan Cole was 34 years old. He had 2 daughters, Lily, who was 6, and Ava, who had just turned 4 in December. He worked as a shift supervisor at a warehouse distribution center outside Chattanooga, Tennessee. He made $19.40 an hour, which sounds okay, until you subtract the $1,400 rent, the $612 in child costs, and the $280 car payment that followed him everywhere like something he could never outrun. He was not a man who expected surprises. At 6:04 a.m., someone knocked on his door. Nathan opened it, still wearing yesterday's shirt. Standing on his front porch was a man in his late 60s, gray at the temples, holding a manila envelope in both hands. "Are you Nathan Cole?" Nathan said yes. "My name is Walter Pruitt. I was a mail carrier for 22 years out of the Maryville post office. Retired in 2019. He paused. "Your father left something with us a long time ago. He made us promise to deliver it in person, not mail it in person. Only after you had children of your own." Nathan stared at him. "I've been holding this for 11 years, Walter said. "Congratulations on your daughters." Nathan sat down at his kitchen table and held the envelope for a long time before opening it. His father, Robert Cole, had died in November of 2013. A stroke in the driveway. On a Wednesday afternoon, Nathan was 23 years old. He had just started his first real job. He never got to say goodbye. Robert Cole was a quiet man, a mechanic. He drove a 1998 Ford F-150 that he kept running for 17 years through sheer stubbornness. He had calloused hands and a voice he almost never raised. He had never talked about money, never talked about the future. Never, in 23 years, mentioned anything that would explain why an envelope with Nathan's name on it had been sitting in a post office in Maryville, Tennessee for over a decade. Nathan opened it. Inside were 2 things: a handwritten letter, a business card. James Merritt, attorney at law, Knoxville, Tennessee. He read the letter twice, then he sat back in his chair and didn't move for 11 minutes. "I'm going to read you part of that letter, not all of it. Some of it belongs only to Nathan. But this part matters. Nathan, if you're reading this, you have children. That means everything I hoped for you has already happened. I need to tell you something I should have told you myself, and I am sorry that I am telling you this way. I am not your biological father. I've known this since before you were born. Your mother told me the truth before we married, and I made a choice. I chose you. I would make that same choice 10,000 times. But there is a man whose blood is in your veins, and he made a choice too, a different kind. He left money. A great deal of it. He left it for you. His name was Arthur Vance. He died in March of 2021. His attorney is James Merritt. Call him, go in person. Take this letter. You were owed something, Nathan. Don't let pride or confusion keep you from what belongs to you. I love you more than I ever knew how to say." Dad Nathan read that last line 5 times. "I love you more than I ever knew how to say." He folded the letter, put it back in the envelope, made a cup of coffee he didn't drink. Then he picked up the business card and dialed the number. A woman answered on the second ring. James Merritt's office was on Gay Street in downtown Knoxville, 7th floor. It's the kind of building where the receptionist offers you water before you even sit down. Nathan had driven 47 miles to get there. He was still wearing the same shirt. Merritt was 71 years old. He had represented Arthur Vance for 29 years. He shook Nathan's hand and held it a moment longer than necessary. "I've been waiting for this call," he said. "It's longer than I expected to." He explained everything slowly, in the order that it happened. Arthur Vance had grown up in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. He made his money in commercial real estate, not by being lucky, but by being patient. He bought properties nobody wanted and held them for decades, until they were worth something. He was disciplined. He was private, a man who by all accounts did not make mistakes, except one. In 1988, Arthur Vance and a woman named Eleanor Marsh had a relationship that lasted 8 months. When Eleanor became pregnant, Arthur had offered to be part of the child's life. Eleanor had declined. She had married Robert Cole and did not want that life disrupted. Arthur had agreed to stay away. He had not agreed to do nothing. He set up a trust in 1989, Merritt said. The year you were born, he funded it over the course of his lifetime. He updated it 3 times, in 2001, in 2009, and finally in 2020, 1 year before he died. Nathan asked how much. Merritt opened a folder. At the time of his death, the trust held $4.2 million in real estate assets, $1.1 million in liquid investments, and a 108-acre parcel of land outside Maryville, currently appraised at $2.8 million. Nathan said nothing. The total, as of last quarter's assessment, $8.1 million. Merritt folded his hands on the desk. There is one condition. Arthur was very specific about it. Nathan waited. The trust releases only when 2 things are verified. 1, you must be alive. 2, you must have a biological child of your own. Arthur believed that a man without children doesn't yet understand what a father is willing to sacrifice. He wanted you to know that before any of this reached you, Nathan thought about Lily, about Ava, about the way Ava still crawled into his bed at 4 a.m. and pressed her cold feet against his legs without apologizing. He understood completely. What about my mother? Nathan asked. Merritt looked at him carefully. Your mother was aware of the trust. Silence. She was informed by Arthur's office in 2021, after his death. She was told the trust would transfer to you once the conditions were met. She was not a beneficiary. She had no claim. Nathan sat with that for a long moment. 3 years. His mother had known for 3 years. He had sent her a card when Ava was born. She had called to congratulate him, talked for 20 minutes. She had said nothing. She never told me. No, Merritt said quietly. She did not. Nathan drove home in silence. He did not call his mother that night. Called Patricia Hollins, an attorney in Chattanooga who had helped him once with a lease renewal and cost him $200. He called her at 7:30 p.m. She called. Back at 8:14, they met the next morning. Patricia reviewed 47 pages of trust documents that Merritt's office had sent overnight. She read for 2 hours. Nathan sat in her waiting room and read the same 2 pages of a magazine 4 times without remembering a single word. She came out and sat across from him. Nathan, she said, this is ironclad. Arthur Vance built this so that nothing and nobody could touch it until it reached you. Not creditors, not a spouse, not a parent. He thought of everything. She paused, thought of everything. Nathan called his mother 3 weeks later. A Sunday afternoon while Lily and Ava were at his sister's house, he told her he had met with Merritt. He told her he knew about the trust. He told her he knew she had known for 3 years. There was a long silence on the phone. Then his mother said, I was protecting you. I didn't want you confused about who your real father was. Nathan thought about Robert Cole, about the 1998, about calloused hands and a soft voice that never once raised itself in anger. He said, I was never confused about who my real father was. Not with anger, with the kind of quiet certainty that closes a door. He hasn't spoken to her since. That was his choice. Some wounds only reveal themselves after the bleeding has already stopped. As of this year, Nathan Cole lives on a 12-acre property outside Maryville, Tennessee. He no longer supervises warehouse shifts. He runs a property management company, 3 employees, 14 units, and growing. Lily is 8, Ava is 6. Every morning before school, they eat breakfast at a kitchen table that belongs to them. Nathan keeps the letter from Robert Cole in a drawer in his office. Not framed, not displayed, just there in the envelope, where he can reach it when he needs to. Says the line he comes back to most is not the part about Arthur Vance, not the part about $8.1 million. It's the last line. I love you more than I ever knew how to say. Robert Cole worked with his hands his entire life, left behind almost nothing. Somehow, through a choice he made before Nathan was even born, made sure his son would be okay. That is what a father is. Not blood, not money, a choice. Made every single day that a child never sees until it is too late to say thank you. If someone protected you quietly without credit, without recognition, without ever asking for anything back, this one is for them. Drop their name in the comments, even if they're gone, especially if they're gone. Subscribe for more real-life stories. I read every single one.